For decades, Washington, D.C. was the undisputed center of global power. From the fall of the Berlin Wall to the early 2000s, the United States stood alone as the world's superpower, shaping international relations, finance, and culture. But today, that era is ending. The certainties of the post-Cold War world are dissolving, replaced by a more complex, distributed arrangement of influence. The U.S. remains powerful, but no longer commands automatic deference. Nations across the global south are stepping forward, claiming their place at the table. This isn't American collapse, it's global rebalancing. The rise of the Brics bloc is the most visible sign of this shift, challenging the idea that global governance must flow through Western-led institutions. Trade agreements now bypass the US dollar, and diplomatic forums feature new priorities. The narrative of a single indispensable nation is being rewritten into a story of many indispensable partners. The world isn't less connected, it's just connected in new ways, along new pathways of power and influence. America's true dominance was financial, not just military. After World War II, the U.S. designed a global economic system centered on itself. The World Bank and IMF, both headquartered in Washington, gave the U.S. and its allies decisive control. These institutions set the rules for global development, often with conditions favoring Western interests. The SWIFT payment system, under Western oversight, allowed the U.S. to monitor and, if needed, cut off countries from global finance. The U.S. dollar became the world's primary reserve currency, creating constant demand and giving America unique economic advantages. For decades, this system provided stability, but also bred resentment. Developing nations felt trapped in cycles of debt and dependency. The use of financial sanctions as a foreign policy tool showed countries like Russia, Iran, and China that their access to the global economy could be revoked at any time. This realization became the catalyst for seeking alternatives. The world's dependence on the dollar is no longer seen as inevitable. The search for a new system is underway. The old fortress of financial power is being challenged from all sides. The Brics group began as an acronym for emerging markets: Brazil, Russia, India, China, but has become a powerful political and economic bloc. With South Africa and now Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the UAE, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia, Brics has expanded to 11 nations. This expansion is strategic, bringing together vast energy resources, key geographic locations, and huge populations. The inclusion of major oil producers gives Brics significant sway over global energy markets. The group is no longer just a collection of large economies, it's a coalition with global reach. Instead of waiting for a seat at Western-led tables, these nations are building their own. Brics Plus is now the primary platform for the Global South to reshape international rules. The expanded Brics bloc now represents about 46% of the world's population, nearly 1 in 2 people. Economically, Brics Plus accounts for up to 41% of global GDP by purchasing power parity, surpassing the G7. The engine of global growth has shifted from the west to the south and east. With Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Iran, and Russia, Brics Plus controls up to 45% of global crude oil production. This gives the bloc immense leverage over energy markets and challenges the dominance of the petrodollar. The incentive to trade in local currencies is growing rapidly. These numbers translate into greater voting power, more influence, and the ability to fund major projects without Western approval. Brics Plus isn't just asking for a seat, it's building a bigger table. The U.S. long used tariffs and sanctions to pressure adversaries, assuming its market was too central to challenge. But this strategy is backfiring, accelerating the very trends it sought to prevent. Trade wars with China revealed American vulnerabilities, as China retaliated and threatened to restrict rare earth exports, vital to U.S. industries. The U.S. discovered that global supply chains are a two-way street. Economic warfare is a game others can play too. Russia, after sanctions over Ukraine, redirected energy exports to China and India, insulating its economy. The world has learned that dependence on the US-led system is a liability. More countries are diversifying partnerships and reducing exposure to the dollar. Ironically, U.S. economic coercion has become the best advertisement for the Brics agenda. The push for a decentralized financial and trade system is now seen as essential for sovereignty and security. The old tools of economic warfare are losing their edge. The world is building alternatives. The rules of the game have changed. The rise of Brics and the waning power of U.S. economic pressure have ushered in a multipolar world. Power is now distributed among several major centers, not just one. The new poles include the U.S., China, India, Russia, Europe, and a more integrated global South. Nations have more options for trade, investment, and diplomacy. Smaller countries can now leverage competition among major powers to their advantage. Multipolarity is often misunderstood in the West as chaos, but many see it as a more natural, democratic balance. Power-sharing forces, negotiation, and compromise, not dictation. The U.S. must adapt. Resisting multipolarity risks self-isolation. Embracing this complexity means competing on ideas and values, not just coercion. The multipolar world is here, signaling a more mature phase in global affairs. The conflict in Ukraine is rooted in broken promises and mistrust between the West and Russia. In 1990, Western leaders assured the Soviets that NATO would not expand eastward if Germany unified, but NATO did expand, absorbing former Warsaw Pact countries and moving to Russia's borders. Russia saw this as a betrayal and existential threat, repeatedly warning it would provoke a strong response. The debate over Ukraine's potential NATO membership became the ultimate flashpoint. The breaking of the not 1 inch eastward promise shattered post-Cold War trust and set the stage for today's conflict and global realignment. Brics nations, feeling marginalized by the Western-led financial system, are building their own institutions. The new development bank, founded in 2015, funds infrastructure in local currencies, helping countries avoid the risks of dollar-denominated debt. The contingent reserve arrangement offers a financial safety net, providing an alternative to the IMF. The NDB plans to launch a multilateral guarantee fund to attract private investment to emerging markets. These initiatives don't seek to destroy the old system, but to offer a real alternative. Bilateral currency swaps among Brics members allow trade without the US dollar. With major energy exporters like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, pricing oil in non-dollar currencies is becoming reality. Brics is methodically rewiring global finance, making it more decentralized and resilient. The world's financial architecture is being fundamentally transformed. We stand at the threshold of a new era, one of distributed complex power. The rise of Brics Plus and multipolarity signals not chaos, but the maturation of the global community. The U.S. faces a choice: resist change and risk isolation, or engage constructively and compete on ideas. Shared governance is the promise of this new era. Global challenges, climate change, pandemics, inequality, require cooperation, not dominance. Multipolarity creates space for genuine dialogue and compromise. Influence must now be earned, not inherited. The future will be co-authored by many, not dictated by one. Leaders must build bridges, not walls, and embrace the opportunity to create a truly global community. A balanced, shared world is within reach, if we choose to build it together.